Flight operations have resumed at Ahmedabad airport from 16:05 IST local time. According to the Ministry of Civil Aviation, authorities confirmed the airport is fully functional. Safety protocols are being carried out with utmost care to ensure the secure handling of all incoming and outgoing flights following the earlier Air India crash incidents. Now we're going back to our guest discussions. We have retired Captain Anil Gaur. He's a defense expert. He's joining us now. Thank you for joining us today. According to you, how might this crash affect India's aviation reputation, and especially as it tries to navigate and expand on international routes?
You see, Indian aviation is on the rise, and if you see all the reports by all the trade papers and even the technical teams and others, you will see that the Indian aviation sector is on the rise and approximately 18 to 20% per annum. And this is the only sector in the world that is on the rise, because Indian economy is on the rise, and that is why you find that this is there with even the aviation sector. Now, as far as this crash is concerned, you see, till the time the FTR is not decoded and the actual reasons found for why this crash happened and how it happened, because you see the movement, what we see in the visuals, the aircraft has crashed moments after takeoff. That means that there has been something seriously wrong with it, and what I can visualize is that there has been a loss of power in the aircraft, and that is why it has crashed. Because if there was some power in some of the engines, the aircraft would not have sunk the way it is seen in the visuals. It shows that there has been a total loss of power over there. Now, along with that, like Dr. Augustine mentioned, the flaps and other parts are also not, they are not extended. So it shows that there has been some serious electrical or some other failure has happened, but that will come out only once the FDR is decoded. Now, that should not affect the Indian aviation sector per se as such, because you see, if it is found out after the FDR is decoded that this crash is attributed to some maintenance errors or some other human errors, then it's a different question. But if it is due to some technical errors of the Dreamliner itself, though that is not going to affect the Indian aviation sector per se. Such crashes, you see, it happens. Like why it happens, what happens, that can only be known once all the parameters of the FDRs are decoded.
And Mr. Gaur, also, what lessons must Indian aviation learn to prevent such incidents in the future, as this industry, like you said, is growing very fast, very rapidly, and India's economy is also growing very rapidly?
One thing is there that the DGCA is our oversight body, and that is very strict on all issues, including maintenance and security. And also the pilots, what is their the rotation of the pilots, the number of hours they are flying, and everything and all. Overall, if you see the way that the whole operations are conducted by the airline sector in India, I think they are far better than what you find in other countries, because we have seen what sort of lapses either there are in maintenance or in others by some countries abroad, which are not found here in India. The main issue is that one crash per se like this, and that too, I think, if I'm not wrong, I think this is crash has been after quite a number of years that such a crash has happened. And with the Dreamliner, this is the first crash of a Dreamliner per se. So this is something serious for the Boeing company also to investigate, for the DGCA and the FDA also to investigate as to what actually went wrong with this aircraft. And the pilots giving out a call of Mayday shows that the pilots are aware that this plane is not under their control and it's going to crash. And we see that I think about 4 or 5 seconds after the Mayday call has come, the plane has crashed. So this shows that there has been something like uh, it happens, like earlier also there was some electrical problem which led to some loss of control, some loss of command and control over the aircraft, which uh, leads to one thing is there that all the equipment that is functioning in the aircraft shuts down immediately. And I think this is something that has happened because that is the way the aircraft has sunk immediately. Now, keeping in view that this crash, of course, with 242 lives lost, this is a very serious matter. The DGCA and other agencies are going to investigate it very thoroughly. And once the findings come out, then only we can take preventive action on it. But till that time, the other, what you call is the maintenance checks and other checks that are normally mandated by the DGCA, there is going to be a what we call is a more sort of a strict action on that to ensure that those checks are carried out, whether it is the maintenance of the aircraft or even otherwise. The DGCA is going to ensure that each and everything is followed as per the book. And I think we would not be, I would not be wrong in saying this thing that this also would be taken into stride because I don't see any pilot error or I don't see any maintenance error per se on this, the way it has crashed.
And
You want to put this one more?
so building on to the point, Captain Anil Gaur, should there be an independent commission beyond DGCA to investigate this crash, as there are international passengers who were also affected from this crash, like the Portuguese people and the British passengers?
That issue, the DGCA is going to investigate, but the FDA is going to come around there to investigate that. The Federal Department of Aviation from the states and others, they are going to definitely come and even Boeing is going to come and investigate into this because it's not going to be left only to the DGCA. It's going to be a thorough investigation by all agencies because the way the plane has crashed is something very surprising. That to see the plane just, I remember there was this crash in New York, but that happened because of a bird hit and the plane was ditched into the Hudson River. But that is a different matter altogether. But this way, the way the plane has crashed is something which needs to be investigated thoroughly by all agencies and to come to the conclusion if there is something wrong with the aircraft per se, or there is something wrong with the onboard computers per se, or if there was something wrong with the maintenance per se, or if there was something wrong with the way the pilots handled the plane. Everything has to come out in the open so that people get to know what went wrong with this and then take preventive action. So this is not going to be just a DGCA show. It's going to be a complete investigation by all agencies to come down to the truth and find out why this plane has crashed.